Hello everyone and welcome to this first video of two videos. This first video is about self-analysis for career orientation and it's made by some trainers of the career services of the University of Groningen. Today we're going to talk about three things and we're also going to give you some assignments to start analyzing yourself. We're going to talk about qualities first, then we're going to talk about skills, and then lastly we're going to talk about values. And in the next video, we're going to talk about how you can use these three things in practice. The video will be presented by, as I said, trainers of career services. My name is Pepijn, and my colleagues' names are Fuad and Miriam. Enjoy watching, and we will start with qualities. Let's start off with your qualities. And for your qualities, we're going to make use of the so-called core quadrant. Then that's a way to map out your qualities. So let's have a look. So this is a so-called core quadrant. Let me take my fancy laser pointer. So let's begin at the top left. This is a so-called quality. So also for you to check yourself, if you think you are determined, this might be a good core quadrant for you. So it starts with a core quality, but according to the core quadrant, too much of something is never good. So too much of determination leads to your so-called pitfall. And in this case, if you are too determined, other people might think you're being very pushy. So that is your pitfall, too much of your quality, and that is annoying behavior for others. In that case, if that's the case, then you have to show so-called positive opposite behavior to make up for that pushiness. So that is your challenge. That is a positive quality that you don't possess. So in those situations, you have to show that behavior. So that is your challenge. It's your positive opposite of your pitfall. It's behavior you have to learn. However, again, of this quality of patience, which is your challenge, there's also too much. And that is in this case passiveness. And that is your allergy. And that is, as on the one hand, pushiness is something people find annoying in you. Passiveness is something that you find annoying in other people. So in the case that you are determined, probably you will recognize yourself that it's hard for you to work with passive people. So let's see if we can make one together. So let's say we take a quality. In this case, let's take being flexible. Too much of being flexible, in this case, for example, could lead to a pitfall, namely that you're chaotic. So this is what other people find annoying in you. In those cases, you should show opposite behavior in order to make up for that. So in the case of chaoticness, it means that you might need to be a bit more structured. But this is behavior you have to learn. So being structured. Then again, too much of being structured could be that you are being very stiff, very rigid. So in this case, do you consider yourself flexible? Then in some situations, you might recognize of other people who said to you that you are very chaotic. In that case, you need to show opposite behavior that is positive, so being structured. But too much of that leads to stiffness. So do you recognize yourself, you being flexible, that it's hard for you to work with people that are stiff? So I want you to make such a core quadrant for yourself. So if you are going to make one, please pause this video for a few minutes until you have one and then continue. So back to the core quadrant we had at the start. So the quality is determination, the pitfall is pushiness, the challenge is patience, and the allergy is passiveness. Of course, determination could also lead to another pitfall, which in its turn leads to another challenge and another allergy. So it's a personal thing. It should support what you already know about yourself. But how to interpret this thing? I'm going to give you one example on interpretation, and the rest you have to come up yourself, or you can ask us as career services, of course. So in this case, you are being determined. That means that in some situations, you have to show patience. And that in those situations where other people show patience, you can perceive that as passiveness. So that is your allergy. But remember that the people that are passive, at the core of their passiveness, is a quality you don't possess, namely being patient. So maybe you actually need those people in your team, those people you consider as being passive, because they have a quality that you don't possess. Already thinking about this, and that people that annoy you can have a quality that you don't have, but it is very helpful for your teamwork, can already help a lot in doing a better team effort. Thank you very much for listening to this first part, and we will move over to skills now.
All right, on to the second part of the self-analysis. Now that we've talked about qualities, we will go on to discussing skills. So now then, what are skills? Basically, skills are terms that show what you can do. These are more on the practical side. Generally, you can make a division between hard and soft skills. Hard skills here are the more measurable ones, the more straightforward. These could be languages, such as French or Dutch or English. The kinds of software that you're able to use, Microsoft Office, or you might be able how to use Photoshop. Um, yeah, these generally are harder to fake, and you can back these up with diplomas. You can include them in your CV or in your application, or talk about them in your cover letter. On the other hand, you also have soft skills. These are the not measurable ones, and these come more or less from your personality. This could be creativity, flexibility, empathy, or time management. Since you're not able to prove these things with a certificate, you might want to back these up with experience or context. And this is the kind of thing you would do in a cover letter or in a job interview, more in depth. Um, Coming up with relevant terms might be a difficult thing to come up with out of the blue. So one thing you can start in thinking about what kind of skills you possess is looking at various vacancies. You know, what are companies asking for? Quite often they will include those in their vacancies. It could be people could be asking for leadership, for initiative, for problem solving, communication skills, um, digital literacy, all kinds of things that are expected from young people entering the job market in the modern world. So right now, I would like you to do an exercise in assessing your own skills. You can use the following keywords to divide these in. This could be education, work, and extracurricular. Since you're a student, you're still studying and developing yourself, developing your skills. And I want you to think about what skills you possess or what you are able to grow in. In education, it could be doing research, presenting this, self-sufficiency, or if you have a part-time job next to your studies, it could be time management because you know how to juggle multiple things. Or if you do a sports on a high level, it shows that you are competitive, that you're determined, or that you're ambitious. So before you go on to the third part of this self-analysis, to the values, I want you to pause the video for a few minutes and to note your skills for each subheading.
Hi, I'm Miriam, and so far you have learned how you can identify your qualities and skills. Now you're going to learn how you can also identify your values by using the value exercise. So knowing about your values can help both in your professional life and in your personal life. So in your professional life, that can be what do you need for a job, and in your personal life, that can be what do you need to enjoy your personal life while you're working. So we're gonna identify your values by using a value exercise. You will be presented with a list of 40 values, which are all related to work and or personal life. And these values represent what you think is important in your future career, but also depending on who you are, some values are more important to you than to others. So the exercise consists of 2 parts. Part 1 is where you're going to list all the 40 values in these 3 boxes, so ranging from very important, important, and not important. And the second part of the exercise, you're going to list 3 very important values in the first box and 3 not important values in the second box. I'm going to show you how to do this. So here are the started on the table. But as you can see, I've listed, for example, leadership to be important, and I would like it in my job. And I find expertise, so displaying a high level of expertise in my field is very important for me. And having a valuable job that adds to my personal life is also very important. However, like location in terms of my job being close to where, for example, I have my hobbies or close to my home is not very important. And let's see, so moving on to promotion, for me it's important and I would like to have it. And see, personal development, yeah, that is very important for me because I feel like I want to work in a place where I can develop my ideas. Personal development and traveling. So having the possibility to travel a lot with the work does not matter for me at all. Public performance, yeah, no, that's not important for me either. Being in the center of attention and that kind of stuff, nah, not really for me. And then influence, so influencing other people's ideas and behaviors. Well, it would be nice, but it's not something that is necessary. And ambition, so setting high standards for myself is very important. All right, so moving on to the second part of the exercise. I already filled it in here, but what was very important for me was expertise, values, and personal development. So I filled them in here. And what was not important for me was location, travel, and public performance. And then I fill them in here. So this is a very nice way to see what is, like having it clear to you what is very important and not important for you in work or in a job or in an organization. So now pause the video and fill in the first part of the exercise. So fill in all the 40 values in these 3 boxes, and then for the second part of the exercise, you fill in the 2 boxes. All right, good luck. All right, so now we have pinpointed which values are important and least important for you, but you may still wonder, why is it important to know your values? Well, by knowing your values, it makes it easier for you to make career decisions, so as you can use them to check whether an organization, institution, or a team suits you. So I hope you learned something new about yourself today, and now you're going to learn how to apply this in practice.